So we've brought the bad weather with us from London to Germany, and we're here at the new Riesenmüller factory, and Heiko's going to take us on a little tour, and very excited to see this new beast in action.
We moved end of January, and then production started mid of February.
And you've got 20,000 square meters here?
22,000 square meters. Production plus all the office rooms, and we have the complete land is 40,000. So,
okay. Am I right to say it's about 350 bikes per day?
That's what we are doing in the moment. 320 to 350, yeah.
And a day. Potential maximum of about double that.
Of 700. Well, this is planned for maybe 2024, something like this. So in 3 to 4 years.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And we worked that out to one bike every 4 minutes.
Every 4 minutes a bike comes out. That's the way it is. Of course, it takes more time to produce it because we have 25 positions where the bike is assembled. So we have 25 workers standing there. They are assembling the bikes, and every 4 minutes a bike comes out. That's the correct.
And that's with 450 employees working.
All together, yeah, all together. Yeah, actually in this production line we are producing all the control technology bikes. For example, the D-Light and yes, as I said, we have Homage, Culture, all these models. So we have, in this line we have 20 positions where the bike is assembled. So on each position there's one guy standing, and he or she is assembling certain parts, and then the bike goes to the next position. So the next guy is taking over. So that's the way we are assembling the bikes. And the good thing is you always have the quality control by the next workers who also check what you have assembled here. So that's a perfect system. In the end, of course, you have a complete quality control of the completely finished bike. And then it's even packed into the carton box and shipped out. So they are really doing the complete production of the bikes, starting with the frame and ending in the carton box. And here you see the lift of the wheels. They are coming from the top down. Actually, we have a transportation system for frames and wheels. We are also producing the wheels in-house in the second part of the production hall. And then the frames and wheels are coming down here, so the worker can just take the next wheel, and it's definitely the wheel which he needs for the next bike.
So high speed,
right?
CX are being produced in the same
production line. So, and the bike is, this bike is
almost
actually ready to ship.
So final tests happening here.
Yeah, final checking, the function, the specification, final checking. So
for complete perfection.
Yeah, that's it. Right.
Can you give us a little bit of a brief story about how the idea was born to start Riesenmüller, the bike company?
At all.
From
the very beginning.
My understanding is you were at university together with Marcus.
Right.
And you started the Birdie as the initial project for a university project. Is that right?
Well, in the beginning it was just a private project, the Birdie. So we have been working on bikes since ever, Marcus and me. Then we met us during our first year at the university, and then we were working together on bikes, different bikes. We worked on a very light mountain bike and stuff like that. So then Marcus had the initial idea to produce a folding, or not to produce, to build a first sample of a folding
So
bike.
this is way before Brompton. This is like 1988, 1990?
Around, yeah, well, it was 1992, to be honest,
Okay.
1992. But actually, we had no idea about Brompton or anything. We heard about the Moulton.
Yeah.
This was much earlier, but Brompton, to be honest, we had no idea about that. I mean, the world was smaller during that day. You didn't have the internet where you could just check any product, and so on. So London was far away. So well, we were just making prototypes and stuff. And then in 1993 there was an innovation championship kind of where we took part, and we won a prize, a special prize for this first prototype of a birdie. And then we said, okay, that's could be a start of a company. And then we booked a small booth on the Eurobike 1993, and we have shown this birdie. Well, people have been interested in that, and we thought, okay, that might be a good idea. There might be enough interest. So we just continued building the next prototypes. And then in 1994, we had finished university during these days, and then we have been standing again on the Eurobike. And then this guy from Taiwan, Mr. George Lin, from Pacific Cycles, he came to our booth, and he looked at that bike and he said, I want to build this bicycle. And this was actually, that was really good luck, because before we were looking for producers of this bike, and it was just not possible to find anybody. We went to Italy, to different German companies, and it was, for these companies, it was too complicated. During these days, it was a full suspension frame and very complex. So they all said that's not possible. And George Lin from Pacific Cycles, he had inquiries from Japan, from customers who wanted to have a folding bike, right? And his idea was to produce this folding bike for his Japanese customers. Markus just booked a ticket for the next plane to Taiwan. He went back with George Lin to have a look at in this company, and they already started to build the next prototypes, production prototypes, and so on. And it was just a question of a few months, and the bike was ready for shipment. So, so actually in 1995, the first 3 containers left Pacific Cycles. One container was ordered by this company from Japan. One was ordered by us, of course, and the third container went to the USA. So actually, we had a start of the birdie in three countries or even continents. And this was really a great start. It was really a great start, so this was the very beginning. And then we developed full suspension bikes. This was actually our great idea. We studied mechanical engineering, so we just knew that a full suspension bike is the perfect bike. So we totally concentrated on this category, and during these days, full suspension mountain bikes have already been on the market, but no full suspension comfort bikes or city bikes, trekking bikes, stuff like that was just not existing. So then with our bikes like Culture or Delight, this have been completely new categories of bike. So this was quite successful during the first years. So we produced or we designed one bike after the other. Even a cargo bike.
These are still non-electric at this stage.
Of course, non-electric, right? Well, the first approach to electric bikes already was in 1996, very early. We built a a birdie with the first
Bionic system.
System in 1996. So this was a very early electric bike, but too many problems during these days and no market. I mean, this was very early.
That's it.
Yeah. So then, after all these years of presenting new concepts of full suspension bikes, we saw that the e-bike market was growing. This was in the years of 2004, 2005. Flyer in Switzerland came up, selling some bikes. But these bikes, they all looked the same. They had a deep step over height. They were designed for people 70 plus, which could not ride a normal bicycle anymore. So actually, we thought
interesting.
we thought an e-bike must be more than bringing old people on bikes which are not able to ride a normal bike anymore. So our idea was to have a bike for commuting, going to work, and actually a bike for leaving your car and jumping on the bike. And this was our idea. So in 2008, our first lineup of 3 e-bikes came on the market, and one of them during these days was already the Delight 45. So a Delight with supports up to 28 miles per hour, 45 kilometers per hour. So this was really a completely new product. Actually, the first speed pedelec, which has the official type approval for Germany during these days. So this was a completely different approach. And in the beginning, everybody said, "Who should buy these kind of bikes? It's totally, it's not the demand. It's something totally different." And nobody understood that. So, but we said, "Okay, let's see." Well, in this moment, that this was a big growth already in the beginning with the first e-bikes. And then in 2011, Bosch came out with their engine. And to be honest, in the first 3 years, we used Bionics and Trans-X motors, and we had some technical problems with these systems. And then in 2011, Bosch came out, and we totally changed to Bosch from one year to the other, because we saw the potential of this new system, which really worked from the beginning on. And then 1 year later, 2012, we made the decision not to continue any non-electric bikes, or to say it the other way around, to concentrate on e-bikes.
And that's when Blue Label was born, or not?
Blue Label is a special story. This was we introduced Blue Label 2011 already with the first Bosch e-bikes which had no full suspension system, because our idea was, Müller stands for full suspension, premium full suspension technology, and
Blue Label was like affordable city commuter
that's
bike,
it, right? And actually, we thought we will just see how it works, and if it works, then it might be possible to reintegrate this to the main brand. But in the case that it didn't work, we had the chance to cut it again without destroying our brand image. So this was the idea of Blue Label, and then 2012 we made the decision to concentrate on e-bikes, and this was, I mean, during that time it was
quite bold.
But definitely. Now it's so obvious. Of course, and this was the right decision. But during that time, we had a lot of customers who had big problems with e-bikes during these days. I mean, bicycle dealers who just didn't understand the new trend, and they said, "Oh well, I'm not able to buy any bikes from you anymore," and stuff like that. So I said, just buy e-bikes, and they said, oh, that's no bicycle, that's, I don't know. Of course, now they are all selling e-bikes, or they are not existing anymore. So
we're seeing that in the UK now. So.
So, and since then, I mean, we introduced interesting models. We try to bring models for all kind of transportation, for traveling, commuting, and so on.
That's fantastic. Well, the rest is history, isn't it? I guess
it is.
Do you remember when you first learned to ride a bike? Like, I don't know, maybe you were like 3 or something like that, or were you older?
I was 4.
And
4.
at that stage, you became obsessed with bicycles.
That's it.
And you wanted to be in the bicycle industry and make bikes from.
Maybe not with 4, but but at least when I started to study mechanical engineering, for me that was the decision that this is the basis for doing something with bicycles. Because when I was 10 or 12, I was spending all my days on the bicycle or repairing, try out new things, stuff like that. So,
I thought so. It seems that anyone at the top of their game has to be obsessed from a young age. Whether you're a tennis player or a bicycle entrepreneur, or whatever it may be, has to be obsessed. Okay, so often we compare Riese Muller in the UK to Bentley and Rolls-Royce.
Oh,
it's
thanks
very.
A lot.
So when people come into my business and they want to learn about e-bikes, I make that comparison. It really helps people understand the brand. And we compare other brands as well to some other cars. I'm not going to say who, because some of them might not be so happy. But I think Bentley and Rolls-Royce is definitely a good one. Where do you see Riese Muller in 10 years from today? I mean, you think, where would you say?
Well, actually, I think we are on a straight way, and it's, if everything runs like we would like to have it run, then I think we will be one major player of premium e-bikes in the world. Actually, I'm sure that e-bikes will be established in all
continents, I guess. Even South America, even Africa.
That's right. Maybe not in each single town, but in the major towns, it will be established. And our idea, our obsession is to be part of this development, to be in all the big cities where e-bike might be important for transportation, essentially, right? So this is our idea. It's hard to say how many bikes we will sell then, but I think that's not really important. We will. I think the demand has to be produced, but it's not important whether it's 100,000 or 200,000 a year, whatever. I think it's important that just to be on these markets, to be part of the movement of e-bikes. That's what we want.
Good. That's great. So one thing that I've identified about Riese Muller as a company, which is, I think, the most important part for me, and I think to separate your company from anyone else's, is the fact that you and Marcus still own the company.
That's right.
50-50, and there's no group, there's no board of venture capitalists, and you can see the innovation and the passion go from your dream, from a young age. It stayed alive, and it goes through the production, through into the box, and the box is then seals that, and then it's opened by us, and then it goes to the customer. That is, I think, one of the most important things about Riese Muller, and it's so obvious. And there's not any other companies really. Well, there's not many other companies like that in the world, really.
That's right,
just in general. And I think that's just the foundations of that is so important, and I really respect that. It's great.
For us, this was always very important to stay independent, because I think we have so many ideas about the future. If you have a managing board or whatever, or some investors, I think it's really hard to convince them to do new ideas. I think they would stay on products which are just running in the moment, but they are just interested in getting out cash. And our mission is to always to invest the money which we earn in new products, in new technologies.
Keeping the principles.
That's it. So, and we definitely want to stay independent. Riesenmüller is not for sale, not even 1% of our shares. That's our principle, and for us this totally works. I mean, of course, for us personally, it might be easier to sell something. We get a lot of money, but to be honest, I don't need that. I have my bike, I have my little house, and everything is fine. So I just want to build bicycles, and that's my passion, and not earning lots of money or stuff like that. So that's totally fine for me.